What's cooking, adventurers? Today we're back to talk about the 10 essential tips I wish I'd known earlier in Crystal of Atlan. Some might be common knowledge, but I've noticed a lot of players overlook a few key things. With that said, let's dive in! Alright, let's kick things off with some shops you might not know about. In the first area, Loomville, there is a special merchant who sells groceries for cooking. But heads up, there is a purchase limit that resets every week. If you want to level up your cooking or breeze through tough fights, make sure to grab these ingredients every time after reset. There's also an NPC in Oreton who sells extra crafting materials, and most importantly, blackstones. You'll need these for crafting, especially for double stamina potions, which become lifesavers pretty quickly. Moving on to Rhine City, there are 3 key NPCs here you shouldn't ignore. The Guild Merchant lets you buy important items daily, and the big HP potions are a must as the game ramps up the difficulty, so stock up while you can. And don't forget there's an NPC where you can exchange cards you've gathered during your map explorations. If you're a completionist, good news, if you collect all the cards you'll be able to claim all the available rewards, no missed prizes, just pure loot. Moreover, the most important NPC where you can get likes, but this deserves a dedicated video, so hold on tight. Number 2. Party benefits and buffs. If you add someone as a friend and clear content together in a party, you will build intimacy each week while you grind. The higher your intimacy level, the better your rewards. Not just a slight boost to gold, which honestly isn't huge, but you also get some extra stats. Want to speed things up? You can send flowers to your friends, it boosts intimacy too. And don't forget you can earn points by playing PvP with friends, so even if you're out of PvE content, jump into some PvP for fun and keep grinding that intimacy. Speaking of party perks, let's talk about the bar in Rhine City, the Golden Fleet. You and your friends can actually head in together and grab a drink. Yeah, drinking with your party is a thing there, don't worry, these drinks won't leave you dizzy, but they will give your stats a nice bump. So if you're prepping for a tough fight and need a last minute boost, swinging by the bar with your crew can make a real difference. Cheers to power-ups! Moreover, there is a contest over there on specific days and times where you can compete in a drinking contest. Well, I haven't yet participated, but you can obtain extra gold. One of the biggest buffs in game comes from foods, especially those recipes that turn your regular attacks into elemental attacks. Don't sleep on this, craft food that boosts your highest elemental stat if you want to push through higher stages, so honestly bringing food into tough fights like Hex Raid is basically mandatory. Same goes for some ranking challenges, food buffs can make a massive difference. Also those buffs stack with each other. Another secret weapon, the Supreme One title. If just one party member has it, the whole team gets the benefit. The catch, everyone else gets a slightly reduced activation rate, 20% instead of 30%, so let only one person equip Supreme One and let the rest rock their best DPS titles. More variety, more damage, less wasted potential. Lastly, here's a quick bonus buff, you can snag a small boost to your attack and HP just by crashing at your base. Yep, literally by sleeping in your in-game house. If you needed an excuse to take a break, now you've got it. Do have in mind though that the buff is not always positive. One last insider move, don't sleep on the Void Realm's Blue Mission buff. If you complete the Blue Mission while exploring the Void Realm, you snag a bonus buff including extra resistance and an 4% stat boost. Sounds small, but that can be the difference between getting carried and actually surviving in the final nest. Especially when everyone shows up with bargain bin gear. So if you're bringing in alts or feeling underpowered, always go for that Blue Mission. That buff can really carry your squad when things get rough. Help your team instead of just clinging to life. Your party and your own survival rate will thank you. If you're unsure which skills to pick when you hit level 60, maybe you're new, just feeling lazy or leveling an alt and you don't want to deep dive, here's a quick hack. You can go straight to the rankings. Check out top players for your class in PvP, solo or even ranked. Let me find the Zerker, alright. You can click on their profile, view info, go to skills, and down here you can see their presets. If they've labeled their builds like PvP or PvE, you can just copy their setup for your own build and try it out. You can do the same thing for challenge modes like the Elite Duel of Bond Bosses or Tempered Trials, Duel of Bonds, Arena Shura Cup. Since these rankings show the top performers and their skill choices, just remember these builds might not be fully optimized for your playstyle, but they're a great starting point if you don't want to figure everything out alone. Number 4. Fragment shards. Want those 435 shards fragments each day? Here's what you need to know. If you can spend nearly 420 green energy in Purgatory, you can hit the daily limit. That's exactly the total energy of 3 characters. So, if energy management and hunting permits isn't your thing, time to change that. Bonus tip: for every 150 green energy burned in Purgatory, you get a legendary drop thanks to the pity system. And if you're hunting for that elusive prayer item, but luck isn't on your side, don't stress, the game has a built-in pity system. The more stones you spend without a drop, the better your odds get, as shown by the counter right here. Think of it as the universe throwing you a bone every now and then, just not always the one you want. Number 5. Fleet benefits, as known as the secret sauce most players totally overlook. Here's what you need to know before you go full lone wolf, which you know I respect, but trust me, this part is worth it. The most important tip: there is a section in your fleet menu where you can actually request shard fragments from your fleetmates. You get 5 per day, and plot twist, you can set it up with a single click so you're not stuck sending requests daily. Yet somehow a disturbing number of players just ignore this. Maybe they are too busy. I've also seen players hoarding shard fragments for their alts, trying to craft weapons for every character. Seriously, just share. You get more fleet coins by donating shards, and let's be honest, your main needs the power more than your alt army. Not everyone in your fleet is running the same class anyway, so everyone benefits. Plus, don't forget about the weekly bosses. Here's something that blew my mind. If you beat the last 6-star boss on the first difficulty, not the King's mode, you automatically get rewards for all the previous stages. No need to grind every boss, just find a solid party for players from your fleet, steamroll the final boss, and boom, maximum loot with minimum wasted time. As a bonus last tip, running with a full party of fleet mates and you take maximum advantage of your fleet buffs, boosting attack, defense and more, so don't sleep on this. Number 6. There's way more to the map than just running from point A to B. If you actually explore, you will find hidden chests and have the chance to take photos for mystic arts, which you can swap for rewards at a specific NPC. You're not limited by energy either. Head to open world areas to farm monsters and pick up special fragments. Gather enough and you can challenge one-time clearance bosses, beat them for even more loot and a boost to your exploration progress. On top of that, there are storylines hidden throughout the game. Find certain NPCs and you'll unlock quests involving riddles and conversations. These side stories don't cost any energy and they also push your exploration level higher. Let's talk about blue stamina, a system so many players completely missed you think it was camouflaged. Here's the deal: some items like cooking, like double energy potions, don't just cost your regular resources, they actually burn your blue stamina when you cook or when you craft. Plus, every resource you gather in the open world, that's also limited by this blue stamina system. It takes about 10 stamina every time you gather something from the open world. Honestly, a lot of people don't even realize why they suddenly can craft or gather past a certain point. It's always the blue stamina cap stopping them. I haven't done a deep dive yet on the absolute limit. Trust me, there is a dedicated video coming for those of you who love the numbers. There is also some wild NPC farming tied to this, especially with that character handing out coins for likes. But for now, just keep in mind, if you hit a wall with gathering or crafting, check your blue stamina, it's quietly running the show in the background. The crafting table section, I know most of you are already familiar with it, but let me drop a few extra handy tips. First up, it's worth take all those random piles of materials you've been hoarding and unify them into boxes. This not only helps leveling up your crafting much faster, but also saves inventory space. And here's a tip for the efficiency addicts: if you don't need potions, the crafting table isn't just for them. You can use it to craft circuits and upgrade materials for circuits on the spot. A quick way to give your build a power boost if you're in a rush or just feeling impatient. Ever wonder where to check which main stats and substats you can get on circuits? Spoiler, the UI makes it way harder than it should be. Here's the fix: you can go to level up and hit the filter, go down and it will actually show you the possible main and substats for each circuit type, saving you from endless guesswork. There are 4 circuit types, one always gives attack, one always gives HP as main stats, and the other 2 can give a mix. I won't drone on, there'll be a detailed video for true stat junkies soon. Same confusion goes for Insignias. Honestly, back when I started I had no clue what main slot and what combat slot mean, but if you actually click on the Insignia slots, go to edit, a UI pops up. This lets you equip 2 different insignias on the same piece and pick which one is active in its mode. That's a sneaky but powerful bit of flexibility if you want different builds for different content. So yeah, make the filter button your new best friend and don't let the UI trip you up. Did you make a character you regret? Good news, you can delete them. Bad news, this game hides this option better than some loot chests. To delete a character, you need to visit a particular NPC in Loomville. This NPC manages your account's characters and from there, you can choose which one to send packing permanently. Just a heads up, deletion takes up to 7 days. Now about the 7-day cooldown, here's why it's probably a thing. Back in the day on the China server especially, players were abusing events by deleting and remaking alts to farm gacha tickets and level up rewards. So the devs slapped a waiting period on deletions to probably stop people from gaming the system. Smart move, otherwise alt farming would break the economy even harder. Anyway, if a character is not doing it for you, just pay the Loomville's NPC a visit and hit them with a well-deserved fair goal. No more living with regret or with bad character fashion choices. Lastly, here's a gold tip, literally a gold tip. You know those pink items dropping from Purgatory? Most people just dismantle them out of habit. But, huge mistake. Turns out you can sell most of those pinks for a solid chunk of gold. Seriously, just hit the market instead of breaking them down and you will see your wallet get way healthier by the day. Do have in mind as well that if by any accident those items are in the daily rotation for the like donation, you can see that those items are selling for more than 400k gold, so you have to check those regularly. And don't stop there, if you're grinding the Void Realms Ravine runs on your alts, all those extra engravings you collect, dump them on the market too. Every single alt can farm and sell their own bats, so the gold piles up fast if you run this on multiple characters. Loads of creators have dropped videos about this, but let's just say selling is way more profitable than dismantling. If you're a true alt abuser, hey no shade, this is your ticket to its gold. So those were my top 10 things I wish I knew earlier in Crystal of Atlan. Some of these tips I learned the hard way, others I didn't even know existed until way too late. If I'd known all this sooner, trust me, my plans would have been a whole lot smarter and my wallet way fatter. Got any tips of your own or moments where the game totally caught you off guard? Drop them in the comments, I'm always up for learning something new, or just laughing at my past mistakes. If you found this helpful, hit that like and don't forget to subscribe for more guides and honest takes. I'll catch you in the next one, hopefully slightly less clueless. See ya!